What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Maury's Music. Maury here, and we're ready for another edition of Guitar Store Virtual Tour. This one's episode 171. I want to say hello to Rosalind, David Belcher, Lee is here. Are you doing this episode in negative colors? You might be talking about yesterday's exciting, the new trend on, if you're not sure what Lee's talking about, there was a time when I was doing, what's the program called? Mystery Guitar, and I asked you to determine, is the guitar a standard series or modern deluxe? And as soon as I flashed to the part where you see the guitar, the gold fret wire gave it away, and everybody said it's too easy, it's too easy. Well, if you haven't seen this past Tuesday's program, I think it was episode, I can't remember what it was, but go backwards after this program's over and watch the most recent episode of Mystery Guitar, and you will see that there are no color hints. There's black and white, there's blurry, there's negative, there's all kinds of tricks. I'm on to you guys now, and I'm not going to make anything easy anymore, including this program. It's going to be a good time. This program was born out of somebody asking, could they possibly see, which was it? Something about the 16 series. So we're going to talk about it today. Is the 16 series better than the Road series, or vice versa? The Road series from Martin Guitar, made in Mexico, very affordable. The 16 series, made in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, more affordable than the standard series, but a little pricier than the Road series. Which one is better? We're going to take two great examples from the Road series, put them up against two very similar examples in the 16 series. You got to let us know what you think at the halftime, and of course when the whole show is over, which was better, the Road series or the 16 series. That's the topic of the day. Nothing negative, no negative colors, no negative feelings, no negative vibes. It's all going to be peaceful. I want to say hi to Paul. Rosanna is here. Don Howard, in your opinion, what are the best sounding strings? Let me think about that. I would probably say Martin Authentic Acoustic and Diodario. They're my two faves. Pete says hello. Maury and Martin lovers. Lutz, hello to Maury and everyone in the chat. We talked about you on Monday. It's been a busy week. Monday was Mike Dickinson and the really fun Martins and More podcast with Spoon Phillips and Mike Dickinson and Lutz and Robert Getzel, if you haven't heard that yet. El McMean, what's up, my brother? Let's get things started. It's going to be 4:30 and I'm not going to be done talking. Episode 171 has to start sometime. Dennis Nestor, how about now? Alright, so it's pretty wild. Right now on my screen, if I look at the people, Rosanna, Paul, Elle, and Dennis, and Jim Adams, I have seen all of you in real life. That's so cool. It almost never happens that I look at this screen. It's almost always people I've only seen through YouTube avatars and little circles. So hello to all of you guys, virtual and otherwise. I want to say thanks for being here. Jim Adams checking in, asymptomatic with COVID. Come on, really? Well, get better, Jim. That's terrible. So sorry to hear that. But the show must go on, and get some rest and sit back, and maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you'll learn something about the 16 series and the Road series. Please get well, my friend Jim. The first guitar I want to show you is in the Road series, GPC-11E. Here we have mahogany back and sides, a solid spruce top with a cutaway and a pickup. Uh-oh. Rosalind, slight delay on the phones. What's up, Mark Henry? All right, well, here's hoping that delay goes away. John Washburn wants to know what Robert Getzel is all about. You watched on Monday. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Robert Getzel. All right. He's going to owe me money now. I talked to him a couple days ago, and he's writing a check to Mike Dickinson. That's what he says. Let's see. Hey, Robert. One of my favorite Jackson Browne tunes to start things off. Episode 171. You're just learning, arriving at the beginning of episode 171 of Guitar Store Virtual Tour. Robert brings up a very good question. How many times was the word Getzel mentioned the other day? When I do those podcasts, one of the things I have to do is create a transcript so I can upload the transcript sheet to the podcast service. So I did, in my text editor, I did find, and I found Getzel. And I'll remind you at the end of the show. Please remind me to tell you at the end of the show. I do know how many times it was said. I don't know how many times Mike said it versus when I said it or Spoon. But I do know how many times it was said. Guess. Let me ask you to guess along during the program. How many times do you think Getzel was mentioned? And I'll reveal the answer if you remind me. It was more than I thought. So, again, we are looking at the GPC-11E. If I didn't tell you earlier, it's got a serial number that ends in 548. And thank you very much for being here. Robert Getzel. I don't want to give the answer too soon, but it's not 72. It felt like that. After halfway point, I thought, this show is going to go down in flames, and it's going to be because we're riding that joke too long, but it was not 72. I'll give you that clue. Next up, we're going to keep it GPC. We're going to leave the... Hold on. Rats. All right. I was so interested in everything else about the program. I mislabeled the first guitar. That first guitar was the GPC-16E. So that was the 16 series. I'm not sure if I said that correctly. This guitar that I'm holding now is GPC-11E. So maybe I said it right earlier and I just don't remember. In any event, the guitar that I am holding right here ends in 097. This is the Road series. This is the 11. Stop talking about numbers and Robert Getzel for just a minute and somebody remind me, did I correctly identify the first guitar? I can't even say it's been a long day. I don't have a good excuse. But the first guitar was the 16. I am now playing the Road series GPC-11E. First guess was 37. That's a lot more appropriate. 87 throws his hat in the ring, but what do we win? Well, there's no prize, so don't put pressure on yourself. Anywho, here is the GPC-11E. I think. Every wrong answer is shot of Jura. Look out. Spoon might want to tell you sometimes I hate being corrected, but I did make a mistake. The first guitar I inadvertently called the wrong thing. So this guitar that I'm holding right now, without any doubt, is the GPC-11E. The beginning of the program started with a bang with the 16, and they're so similar. Could you blame me? Let me know honestly in the chat as you're watching this in real time. Did you hear a big difference from the Mexican-made 11E Road Series with mahogany and spruce versus the predecessor, the 16 series, in the same stylings? Grand Performance body size with the cutaway, spruce top, mahogany back and sides. And I say that because the next two guitars are going to change up. They are both dreadnoughts, and they are each same idea, Road Series and 16 series. But the 16 series has something different going on. Let me know before I get there if you know what I'm talking about. What is the big difference between a Dreadnought 16 series and a Dreadnought Road Series? Let me know in the chat. See who's paying attention, because they know it's not me. Excuse me while I look this guitar over very carefully and read the tag. What's up, Marco? Marco, you just got here and just in time. The entire program's gone without a hitch. There have been no mistakes by anybody. So. Mark Henry says we've run the episode off the track. We haven't even mentioned whiskey yet. Maybe that's why. Let's mention whiskey. I'm going to pretend this semi-recent warm green tea is more than that. Oh, if I just close my eyes and daydream back to NASFest, I can taste the Jura. I can taste the Jura. All right, back to program. D-16E Mahogany. This instrument's got a serial number ending in 780. And nobody's piping in with the answer, so I'll go ahead and say it. The Dreadnoughts. Don Howard likes the sound of the GPC-16. Nice. These are both mahogany, though. If you're partial to rosewood, they're available in rosewood, but both guitars I played so far were mahogany. Neck attached to the body's different. Not really. What I'm looking for is the depth. When you look at the Dreadnought, simple dovetail on the... Well, that's... El McBean and Marco are both right. Simple dovetail on the 16 series, but I have to double check. Isn't that the case for the Road Series too? Or are they M&T? But the answer I'm looking for is the depth on a 16 series guitar, whether it's a Dreadnought, OM, GPC, they are all thinner body depth. So this is a D-16E Mahogany, and it says deep top to back as an OM. That's going to make a difference when we go to the Dreadnought in the Road Series. That's going to have a deeper, full traditional Dreadnought depth. So here it is, the D-16E Mahogany. I am totally sure of it. D-16E Mahogany. A little bit of Spanish. What would you call that? That's my best Warren Zevon impression. Of course, the guitar was probably David Lindley, if we're being honest, but maybe not. D-16E Mahogany, triple O depth. Next up, we're going to go down to the Road series and up in size. This is going to be the traditional. They both have the traditional dovetail or dreadnought silhouette, as you can see, but this one is going to have your traditional dreadnought depth. So this is a deeper body, a little bit more affordable. Again, we're looking at spruce and mahogany. Thank you, Rosalind. This guitar serial number ends in 503. And why do I tell you that? Because if you go to the D12E on maurysmusic.com, go to the Images tab, you'll see actual pictures. Hey, thank you, Cool Out. Let's take the D12E for a spin. What's up, Eric? Yeah, the CS Bluegrass 16. I haven't seen one of them in a dog's age. Very, very, very cool instrument, but I couldn't tell you the last time I saw one of them. They were pretty popular for a very short time. Long since sold out here, but that would have been cool. What's up, America First? If you're just joining us, you are in the middle of a problem-free, near-perfect episode of Guitar Store Virtual Tour. My name's Maury with Maury's Music. We're taking a long look at the Rhodes series from Martin versus the 16 series from Martin. Which one is better? Is the Rhodes series a much better value? What do you get when you step up from the Rhodes series into the Nazareth-made 16 series? Is it better? Just different? Worse? Especially if you name them wrong? If anybody wants to really get into the nitty-gritty details, go back to the front of this program. Somebody on camera might have misspoken and called a 16 a Rhodes and a Rhodes 16. It hardly matters now. That's in the past. But I got one more song to play on this D-12E and Rhodes series, and you guys have to tell me what you want to see in the second segment. Somebody was already nice enough to ask for HD35. Somebody asked for OM-21. And then middle of the day, our friend Tone Guy said, how about anything with a three-piece back? Well, that's already here in the HD35, so there's room for 2 more instruments in the second segment. Please don't make me do what we did last week and just get whatever is at the top of the steps. If we have something in stock in this building and it's reasonably easy to get, we would love to make you happy. And again, the second segment's always viewer request. One more tune on the D-12E. Jim Adams 12-string, I can tell you that we don't have one because Marshall beat you to the punch. He asked me to play a mashup song on a 12-string, and I could not do that. There is no 12-string here, so I do have to ask you to don't ask for bass or ukulele or 12-string. Other than that, the floor is yours. So 00017, maybe that might be here. I think we have an SC13E special. OM-28 Maury's guitar copy. The OM-28V VTS. I know that's still here, so let's let Andrew decide SC13E or the 28V VTS, or both, or 00017. I've got a program to get back to. Let's do the D12E first. Thank you. I asked for your input, and you gave it to me, and I scolded you, so it doesn't make any sense. Thank you, David. Okay guys, we'll be back in just a minute with the Fly Fishing Lefty and more creative answers from the Peanut Gallery. It's episode 171. Who knows what we're going to see in a couple minutes, but you're going to listen to some great Spoon Phillips in the meantime. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and Martins and More is back every Monday on YouTube and all the popular podcast platforms, wherever you get your podcasts. This past Monday was extra special. We got to talk with our friend Mike Dickinson again at Martin about things like the ebony fingerboards and the stain or the blotchiness or are they dying ebony again. We also talked about Lutz spruce. We talked about Robert Getzel. We really talked about Robert Getzel's new Biosphere guitar and the fact that Martin has earned their reputation again for being world leaders and being, conservation, that sort of thing. It was a really good episode, even with all the jokes. So please do check it out if you haven't seen it yet. And the next episode coming up, I believe it's going to be, well, I know it's on Monday. I think it's about the new John Mayers. I think that's how caught up we are. So check it out. Martins and More with Spoon Phillips. We really appreciate all your support. I missed a couple of good chats here. Eric wanted to see the Brook Liggett. Well, I'm sorry that I didn't see that in time. I do think I'm starting to figure Andrew out. If you guys give him more than enough choices, he might be liable to pick the last one he saw. I think this 12th fret, of course, I don't understand. I could just be guessing, but somebody at the last moment said 12th fret, so that's what brings us to the O-12-28 Modern Deluxe. So again, if your choice didn't make the cut, please accept our apologies, and we do appreciate you letting us know what you want to see. But this is one of the ones you did. Here we have the peanut shape. This is the wide neck Modern Deluxe Series O-12-28 with beautiful VTS Sitka top. Gorgeous East Indian rosewood back and sides. Yeah, I missed a lot of good chats. Steven says all Mexican Martins have the mortise and tenon, and the 16 are the simple dovetail. I remember the 16s being simple dovetail, but thank you, Steven. I don't know why I thought some of the Mexico Martins were beginning to get the simple dovetail. I believe I'm wrong about that, so thank you. So here we are in segment number 2. If you're just joining us, you're watching episode 171 of Guitar Store Virtual Tour. Please consider sharing this program with somebody who might like it. If you know somebody that would this is just right up their alley, but they're not watching yet, please share. Got 16 thumbs up. If they are earned thumbs up, I appreciate it. If you're on the fence, you're not sure if you like it, if you end up liking it later, don't forget to tell us you liked it by hitting like. And if you don't, tell me what we can do to make it more likable. O-12-28 Modern Deluxe. This guitar sounds familiar. 176 is the ending serial number. Thank you, Cool Out. Rosalind's liking it. If this guitar was ever the mystery guitar, I will certainly not tell you which episode it was. Or will I? Or won't I? Alright, liquid metal bridge pins here on this model for sure. And be careful not to scratch it in case it's a birthday gift. 10 months away. We if somebody wants to buy this for somebody, we can certainly put it aside. Don't forget to tell us when your birthday is a week away so we can sing to you. Next up, this guitar was requested hours ago. That's why it's down here. OM-21. These guitars are going to get a little bigger and a little bigger until we just put the exclamation point on the episode and eventually end with the HD35, but that's not yet. Here we have, by request, Martin OM-21. This instrument's got a serial number ending in 774. Now we're talking my language. We're going to literally be talking my language after this with the OM-28V VTS Maury clone, but going to work our way up there, do a little 21 first. You guys will get a good front row seat to what 21 sounds like versus 28. Of course, there are some key differences we'll talk about in a minute. Here we have the traditional East Indian rosewood spruce top, and here we're trading herringbone for tortoise binding. Sometimes these will have black binding depending on what's available at Martin. Thank you very much, Dennis. And Lee is looking at a guitar that's one of 25. I'm very curious to see what that is. Al McBean, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow. OM-21. Might hear that tomorrow night. Martin versus Martin. One of my favorite tunes. Thank you very, very much, Rosslyn. That was a very sweet thing to say. Somebody asked, Jim wants to know, traveling for a week at the beach? That sounds like me. Last week, still got the white and the tan. What do we do for no guitar for a week? And what's the travel guitar? My travel guitar, if you're asking me as well, it's not really travel size, but I travel with the Martin DX Woodstock because of its HPL. I would certainly say a Junior or an LX is a better travel size, but if you're including me in the question, I travel with my DX Woodstock, and officially I didn't bring it this past time because I was at the beach too, and I dare say it, I was looking forward to a week without guitar, and that just really recharged me, but I missed it at times. Now I miss the beach. Rewatch Martin versus Martin. Right on, David. Now, if there was ever a guitar built for somebody, but not built for somebody, it's this. I got so infatuated with my own guitar, we asked the Martin Custom Shop to sort of recreate it, and it's of course it's not murdered in the sound hole, and it's not extra worn. But we had Martin put together an OM-28V with a VTS Sitka top to sort of mimic the age of my 1998 guitar. It's got the V-neck for my guitar, and it's to me it sounds a little bit older, a little more broken in than a regular OM-28. So if you like the V-neck and the Modern Deluxe VTS top, but don't want or need the Modern Deluxe wooden binding and all the other bells and whistles, there's no carbon fiber bridge plate here, there's no liquid metal bridge pins, no gold fret wire. This is a lot more like a regular OM-28 with just the top being VTS. And this is, we nicknamed this the OM-28V VTS, but it is a custom shop OM-28 modeled, or at least heavily inspired by my guitar. Lobster rolls! That was, if I could let you know on a little secret and peel back the curtain, that was the topic of so many text exchanges between my wife and I and the rest of our family. What are you guys doing for dinner? And we just kept saying we got to find lobster rolls. Like, I don't know what you guys want to do. Mom brought barbecue. Lobster rolls. Best thing. This feels like mine now. Sound modification costs you double. You guys want, I can very carefully just get this looking just right, just like my other guitar. But this is, for lack of a better word, the OM-28V VTS. Please let us know if you have any questions about this or any great guitar on today's program. Or otherwise, anybody watching this, if this makes you think of a question about a new Martin guitar, a new Blueridge guitar, please consider giving us a call or an email, support@maurysmusic.com. Before 4 o'clock and after 5 o'clock, we are selling guitars all day long, so make no mistake. We would love the opportunity to connect you with the right guitar if and when you're ready. And if you're not ready, we'll just keep doing this every week so you don't forget about us. All right, here it is, the big finale. I think it was Jim who asked for this, but I apologize if I get that wrong. This was the first requested guitar from the second segment. It's the HD35. It also counts as Tony's request because he wanted to see 3-piece back. This serial number ends in 138, and I think this has been on the program pretty recently. But here we have scalloped 1/4-inch forward shifted bracing in a dreadnought, herringbone dreadnought with a nice bound neck and a beautiful 3-piece back. Lutz wants to know that custom shop wider wider bridge string spacing than the 2 5/32 or more comfortable for fingerstyle, or what's your impression? I don't really notice a lot in the string spacing differences from guitar to guitar at the bridge. My playing style, the way for whatever reason, when I'm playing guitar, I'll notice a little bit more if it's cramped down here, but I don't tend to notice, even extreme differences down here don't necessarily trip me up. So I can't really say I have a preference there because it sort of goes unnoticed to me. But ironically, I think more of our customers who do have issues going from wide to narrow or vice versa, I think more of our customers are in the camp you're talking about where they do have preferences, but I'm really not sure I can give you a straight answer there. I think if I do, like today, if I played a lot of wide neck guitars down here and then go to play something like a D15 later, I think that feels foreign to me after an hour, but then after a few minutes it's just a matter of getting used to it. So it's the first few minutes playing something that might make me feel weird, and then it sort of goes away pretty quickly. And I think that's just playing guitars in a music store for 20 years, that it sort of just happens that way. So pretty. Wonder what she sounds like. HD35. Alright guys, that's going to do it for episode 171. We talked about the 16 series, the Road series. Is the Martin Road series better than the Martin 16 series? Is the 16 series superior to the Martin Road series? Let us know what you thought in the chat. And never mind all that, we have to get to the real answer. How many times was the word Robert Getzel said on Monday's Martins and More podcast? You have one more moment to put in your vote. I don't know that I saw the answer, but you have to appreciate I can't see all the chat the entire time. I'm not always looking at the screen. The most recent guess was 43, and that was not right. And David locked it in, so it kind of sucks because you can't change your answer now. 35 is not correct. 19 by Mike, 12 by everyone else. Pour your juras. Well, at least you made a drinking game out of it. I'm going to do a little drum roll. I don't have the real one close enough to me. Going to watch the chat. Thank you very much, Paul. I appreciate it. Thank you all for hanging through this somewhat bumpy episode. A couple of mistakes in the beginning. 19 by Mike. So, the number of times Robert Getzel was mentioned on the Martins and More podcast with Spoon Phillips this past Monday is... No more guesses? 44. I did a text edit. That's what it came up with. It wasn't necessarily divided by Mike and Spoon and Maury, but totality of it, 44 times it was mentioned. So you guys got to be honest, and it's the honor system. If anybody was right, please give yourself a trophy icon. David, you came really, really close. I was sort of considering lying just to make you the winner, but I don't do that sort of thing. So 44 times. Let that be a lesson. If you guys would like to sponsor a future episode of Martins and More podcast, all you have to do is act like Robert Getzel and convince somebody like Mike Dickinson to do your bidding, and you'll be all over the airwaves. David's so close. Pete said 43. Maybe I'm wrong by one or two, so if you really want to know, go listen to it again. And really appreciate you guys being here. Tomorrow night, we might say it 88 times if me and Marshall get in the wrong mood, but it's Martin versus Martin, 6 p.m. tomorrow night. You have to watch tomorrow because Marshall's going on vacation now, and he's going to be gone 2 weeks. So tomorrow's going to be an important one. Hope you'll join us, and we really appreciate all you guys do. From all of us at Maury's Music, thank you very much, and have a great evening.